I'm Sophia Halbrook, and I'm here at Sandstorm Glassworks in the Depot District to check out the art of glass blowing. These crystals may not look like much now, but professional glassblower Lee Ware is about to take me through the steps that will transform this material into an elegant and unifying symbol.
So we're going to be creating a sculpture using the colors that they mix up.
Shattered glass may look like scraps that need to be thrown away. But the closer you look, the more its beauty intrigues you. Deep purples, reds, and blues. Combine this concentrated colored glass with sand gathered from a destination wedding, and Lee Ware creates an everlasting memory. Sandstorm Glassworks is the only company in Lubbock, and the world for that matter, that creates these special pieces. Lee mentioned that if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life. The professional glassblower said his passion went as far back as he could remember.
When I was a kid, probably 6 or 7 years old, I hear stories from my dad. He would see me over the kitchen stove with little tubes of glass I got out of my chemistry set, bending and pulling the glass over the flame. The fire and the heat and the transparency and the meldability of the glass, I love.
The sculpture has a total of 4 gathers of glass, each one picking up more glass than the one before. Lee dips the pole into a furnace which holds 250 pounds of crystal clear molten glass and runs at an operating temperature of 2060 degrees. To put that into perspective, it takes 8 days to warm up and 8 days to cool down.
Molten glass wants to be under the influence of gravity, so I keep it balanced out and on center by turning. So you'd ask about turning, why am I turning? If I stop turning, this is what happens, right?
Then Lee melts the chips of glass into the clear glass form.
The second gather of glass.
While it heats up in another furnace, Lee watches for color change of the glass to determine how hot it needs to be.
I start seeing the edges soften, and they become kind of almost little gumdrops after they've been melted.
Lee shapes the glass using wooden blocks. His goal is to make a uniform, round shape.
And I'll use this shape with their color on it and pick up another layer of glass.
On the third layer of glass, Lee applies sand gathered from this couple's honeymoon. After shaping the glass and getting it extremely hot, he sets the glass down on the sand, then pushes it into a ladle to make a ring of sand in the glass.
Good.
On the final gather of glass, Lee begins to shape the arms of the sculpture. Lee says there's a lot of symbolic shape to the sculpture, and by pulling the arms up and twisting them together in an embrace, the figure resembles unity and love.
So she explained it. And then we're going to go into the annealer with it.
The finished sculpture gets placed in an annealer, which is set at 915 degrees. This keeps the newly formed sculpture stable. At this temperature, the glass isn't allowed to cool down too quickly, which would cause it to shatter, but it's cool enough to not let the glass transform into another shape. Heidi Simmons has been at Lee's right hand for the past 2 years. Lee said he could not do all of this hard work without the help of a trusted assistant.
Yeah, anytime you're blowing glass, you almost always need an assistant. And a sign of a good assistant is one where there's really zero verbal communication.
Couples will choose as many colors of the glass crystals as they like for their ceremony. Sometimes it's a favorite color, sometimes it's the colors of the wedding. Then we'll mail them the individual glass crystals in those colors. And then during the marriage ceremony, they'll symbolically combine the glass into one larger container and mail that back to us. And we shape the unity sculpture from that.
All that hard work finally pays off when Lee comes back in the morning to a finished sculpture. I really like the way this one turned out. The colors are beautiful. For more information on this story and Sandstorm Glassworks, check out our website, kttz.org. For Channel 5, I'm Sophia Halbrook.